Not that gone wild.
See, that's how you beat the Packers, George.
Shut up, Joe. Do not remind me of that painful day.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory.
Shut the heck up, Joe.
I really hope Jordan Love is okay.
Yeah, it absolutely sucked that. The second to last play of the game, he gets hurt.
Apparently he has not torn his ACL, but additional scans are scheduled.
So it looks like he'll live to terrorize my Chicago Bears another day.
This field that they played on was so crappy. I know that it's meant for soccer, but they were slipping way more than they were when the Eagles and Chiefs played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it seems like the NFL just wants money and doesn't care about players' safety at all.
That is the understatement of the week.
Let's start with the Eagles.
Can we all take a moment to laugh at Giants fans that let the Eagles get Saquon Barkley? I mean, for goodness sake, he is going to be a menace this year.
Yes, Saquon had 3 touchdowns, could have had a 4th, rushed for 109 yards, and had 23 receiving yards for a total of 132 combined yards.
Looks like Saquon Barkley is going to be the new CMC. It's just so sad that Saquon wasted so many years behind a terrible Giants offensive line.
What's even more crazy is the Giants were looking to pay Josh Jacobs this offseason to play for them, but he refused.
Yeah, I have a feeling that just like when A.J. Brown torched the Titans in 2022 and the GM was fired after that game, I think the Giants GM will also be fired after Saquon runs for 150 on the Giants this year.
Also, A.J. Brown had 119 yards and a touchdown off of only 5 receptions, which is crazy. One of them being a 67-yard touchdown catch.
A.J. Brown also used the ref as a screen near the end of the run, but honestly, Jair Alexander was not catching him.
And Zach Bond went absolutely crazy as well. 15 tackles, 11 of them being solo and 2 sacks. What an amazing pickup for the Eagles.
Yeah, that dude looked like a beast, and honestly, the defense was a lot better than I was expecting them to be. Holding the Packers to 2 field goals in the first quarter came back to haunt the Packers later in the game.
Moving on to the offense, Nick Sirianni needs to play some of the starters on offense in the preseason because they looked rusty.
Yeah, I was really nervous at the beginning of this game. Saquon's first carry was a 5-yard loss because of a slippy field, and Jalen Hurts' first completion of the season was an interception. But they came back and ran the ball, I believe, a total of 38 times, and that won them the game.
Yeah, the biggest weakness on this team does seem to be Jalen Hurts because he did not look good. He definitely won them the game at the end in the fourth quarter when they were trying to burn clock. Jalen using his legs only when necessary is definitely a threat. But he has to get better at reading the defense and not throwing the ball when there is absolutely nothing available.
Moving on to the Packers did well. Jordan Love had 260 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception.
That's the scary thing about Jordan Love is he has some crazy talent, but he looked a bit off in that game.
Yeah, I think the combination of the field and it also being the first game and everyone being rusty made it hard on everyone.
I was expecting a lot more from Josh Jacobs. He seemed to be doing nothing in the first half of the game, but he ended the game with 84 rushing yards and 20 receiving yards for a total of 104 yards.
It just really seemed like the Eagles' defensive line in the first half was really not letting anything happen for Josh Jacobs.
Right. But once the Packers adjusted, they were able to run the ball much, much better.
And good Lord, Jayden Reed was just an absolute monster, having 138 receiving yards on only 4 receptions and had 1 receiving touchdown as well. I'm sure anybody that has him in fantasy is pretty pleased after his performance.
We have to give love, no pun intended, to the Packers defense. I think getting rid of Joe Barry really helped them. They had Rashawn Gary, who got a sack, as well as Jair Alexander, who got an interception, as well as their free agency pickup Xavier McKinney. Then there was the absolute beasts in Quay Walker coming in with 11 tackles, along with Javon Bullard.
Yeah, the Packers are a very good team, and I just hope Jordan Love is okay.
Well, I think this game was everything that we had hoped for. But I don't think this gives us much indication on how well either of these teams will play the rest of the year. Because the field was so slippy, almost every single player was sliding around like they were playing on ice.
Couldn't agree with you more there, buddy.
So fly, Eagles, fly. And out of good sportsmanship, go Pack, go for Jordan Love to get well soon.
See you next time, guys.